Hello, and thank you for joining me today. Well, this is the Wednesday, May the 5th edition of our video devotionals, and we appreciate you being with us today. It is Wednesday, so it's the midway part of the work week and school week, and also if you're able to attend Wednesday evening Bible study, then that would be great. Also, it's Cinco de Mayo, so happy Cinco de Mayo. All righty. Well, we started on Monday with our theme about treasures, and today we're probably going to look at the most infamous passage of the Bible that deals with the word treasure or treasures, and we're going to be in Matthew chapter 6, verses 19 through 21. So we'll give you a chance to find that if you do want to look it up. And so we appreciate everybody who watches our videos, and we're going to continue these just as long as we can, as long as the Lord allows. And we all need each other. There's a reason for the concept and the gathering of church. There's a reason why fellowship is important amongst God's people. Even if you go back to the Garden of Eden, Adam was created, and there he was alone. And the Lord said, it's not good for man to be alone. So created Eve, his wife. And so it just goes to show you we need that. So let's go ahead and jump into things here. Matthew 6:19 says this: lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So all three verses mentions treasure or treasures. Simple when you look at it. It's not complex, and yet at the same time living it and making our lives center around a truth like this is very, very important. So it's very simple here. First thing I want to tell you is God is not saying you can't have anything. Of course, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth. Now, he's not saying don't have anything. All of us have things. There's things certainly we need, like if you own a car, that gets you places, it gets you to church, work, all that sort of thing. You understand that. It's much like in the Bible where God is trying to show the emphasis when he talks about loving him, loving your family. It mentions hating father or mother. Now, God's not advocating to go out and hate them, totally disband them, just don't visit and act like they don't exist. God's not saying that. He's showing, though, the distance between and the priority between our love for God and our love for family. When you love God, of course, you're going to love everybody else much better anyway. And I think that's important. But all that, going back to this about treasures, he's not saying don't have anything, but he is saying people that live to lay up treasures get things. That's all they have. And of course, the world, that's all they have. They accumulate things. They get more things. There's very few people that say, man, I don't need anything else. I'm satisfied. It's not human nature really to do that. It's like money, when is it ever enough? But the point is, we as children of God, this idea of living for this world and not living for God, that's a big problem, because as it applies there, things are going to happen to your stuff. It uses the word rust. You go out and buy you a car, and it won't be long, and there's going to be rust showing up somewhere on. It's just going to depreciate. Things are going to happen. You understand that. So as you look at it here, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven. And there's the important thing. Now, how do we do that? How do we lay up treasures in heaven? As we say, you're not going to take anything with you in this world. When you pass away, literally, you're going to take nothing from this world into heaven. And, as someone said one time, you never see a U-Haul trailer following the hearse. It's the point's made there. You're just not going to take anything with you. So how do we lay up for ourselves treasures in heaven? Well, I think you understand this, but it's basically when you live for God, it's your influence in this world. Think about it in terms of this. When you win a soul to Christ, guess what's going to be in heaven, or who's going to be in heaven, because of God using you to plant the divine seed and that person getting saved. So it's living so that others will be changed because of the life you live around, changed seriously in the sense of passing from death unto life. So there's a treasure in heaven. Certainly you can think about the rewards. God's going to give rewards. So the point is living for the eternal. And there's going to be things in heaven because of what we do here on earth. Now, none of my cars are going to be there, I don't think. That would be kind of neat, I suppose. We won't need cars. I do say this, and people ask sometimes, people have a very strong connection and even love for their pets, and I'm like that. I'm hoping that when I get to heaven, I have no Bible evidence that God's going to have my pets in heaven, but I'm hoping that the pets I had as a boy, right on through even now, I hope they're there. I really do. If they're not, then that's God's business, and I'm sure at that point there's going to be a part about me that's not going to grieve and go, "Oh no, I wish they were here." And but I wouldn't be surprised, is all I'm saying, that God would have our pets there that we love and all that. But the point is, though, is that in our life, what's going to be there for sure, and what's implied here and is taught here, laying up treasures in heaven is living for God, and the influences in this world are going to have a bearing in that world because you're going to be influencing people. That's where it's at. People that are saved, people that you influence to live for God, so that they in turn win people to Christ or influence the people around them so that they live for God. I think you understand that. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And that's just the way it is. Your heart, basically follows the treasure. So if you're wrapped up in the things of this world, then it's going to reveal itself. And if you love the Lord, that's going to be evident. And living for Him and laying up those treasures in heaven, very, very important. So let's do that, okay? Let's think about that, because the truth is you're not going to take it with you. And even this life, there's things that just, you have them and then things start to happen. And even they can be stolen, as it applies there, the thieves. So leaving this on a very high note here, let's lay up treasures in heaven. And there they are, and truly they are treasures. And guess what? They're not going to go away. And praise God for the people that will be there, and their lives that were changed here on earth, because we didn't live for this world. We live for God, and God allows us to have some things, no doubt about it. So I hope you have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow as we continue this thought about treasures. Have a great day.